Are you tired of all the generic rhythm nonsense? Do you want something just a little bit more satanic? Do you spend your Tuesday evenings summoning demons? Are you a supreme edgelord who hates their parents and never goes outside? Then I may have the perfect genre of music for you, you sad excuse for a human being. So you may be asking yourself, Flow Motion, what the balls is Deathstep? And you may be asking that question if you're a middle-aged man in his 40s who's struggling to reconnect to his teenage daughter because she's now invested her time in chokers and screamo. But fear not, I shall give you a proper definition. Deathstep is a subgenre of dubstep that basically fuses death metal and deathcore with dubstep. No wonder it's such a hit with today's youth. It's definitely not a new genre, but it has recently been gaining popularity. Artists to reference for this genre include Evilwave and Pandorum, both prime artists in this genre. But that's enough backstory. Let's get into the actual production of music. Get yourself a nice hard-hitting kick. If you want to be super deathsteppy, use a really clicky one. Also, you're going to want to get a nice hard-hitting snare, a juicy open hat, and some cymbals to fill up the mix and get a nice Melsh groove going. You should end up with a drum pattern like this. If you want to be extra death metal, you can mix up your kick pattern and add lots of kicks in a row like I did here. It'll definitely add some spice to your track. Also, don't forget impacts and stuff like that. And for your build-up, add claps. Deathstep revolves around hard-hitting, monstrous, metallic basses designed to make a normie wet their pants and a rhythm producer to cry for his mommy. You can find samples, but that's basically you're showing you're lazy as everything, so we're going to have to do some sound design to be the least bit original. You want all your growls to basically sound like this. I recommend using the comms and reverb filter for good results, and the diode 2 distortion level. For post-processing, if you're using Gableton, get yourself one of those fat racks or whatever, but if you're using FL, here's the chain I used. I used an EQ for small frequency adjustments, an OTT, because OTT, a stereo shaper for stereo width, a dimension expander, and Camel Crusher. Also, don't forget to sidechain these basses to your drums. To make a better build-up, I added some interesting growls in the build, and I made this growl riser. And never, ever, 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 ever forget that thick sub bass. Please and thank you. And that's about it for basses. Let's move on to... So you want to add some spooky stuff to your track, like church organs, choirs, and strings. If you're struggling with writing spooky chords and melodies, I recommend the harmonic minor scale, as following that scale usually produces great results. Add some evil laughter for a more satanic feel. And add some really spooky risers. If you want to take a step further, you can sample stuff like people in movies dying. And that is pretty much it. And here is what it should sound like.